August 2nd, 2013. Runner. This morning I met Brian, a child's pastor from Wyoming, attempting to run across Mongolia. He was in a Land Cruiser with his Mongolian support crew driving to the day's starting point. He told me to keep going, then in the evening he would be back to pick me up, and we could all go to his camp for dinner. Biking the rest of the day was okay. There were a lot of mosquitoes despite the seemingly dry landscape. The rough sandy roads forced me to pedal slowly. My dawdling pace has been good for my knee these past few days, which after a week of aching is finally feeling better. Though after so many long days on bouncing roads, my sit bones are now suffering. Around midday, I discovered a shallow creek, which was just what I needed. I stripped naked in the hot sunshine and squatted in the ankle-deep water to rinse the salt from my body. 24 horses were there as well, watching me as I splashed in the river. While water was available, I refilled my bottles and rinsed my socks as well. The water that I carry is such a scarce resource that I never spare a single drop to wash myself, my clothes, or even my cooking pot. Being strict about this is easy, especially here in the desert, where my survival might depend on my caution. After 8 hours of biking, Brian caught up to me in the Land Cruiser. We strapped my bike to the roof, and I climbed into the back. The driver immediately abandoned the well-worn track, going fast across the open land towards a low gap in the mountains. He slammed on his brakes whenever a boulder or ditch appeared in front of him. To stabilize myself, I held onto the seat in front of me with both hands. At the pass, we slowed for a narrow rocky trail. A boulder at the top was painted with white Tibetan lettering. The driver told me a prayer was written, but that he can't read Tibetan to tell me exactly which one. We arrived at the camp on the side of a gently sloping hill, and I noticed right away there would be no flat ground to sleep on. Such is where my thoughts go. This place is beautiful though, away from the mosquitoes and with the spring nearby. The magnificent view looks far into the gently rolling mountains. Waiting at the camp were Brian's wife, 2 young children, and a Mongolian lady who cooks for them. We sat for a delicious meal of noodles and soup. I felt so civilized, seated on a chair at a table and eating off a clean plate. My normal is to sit on the ground and eat out of my dirty cooking pot. Having company for a meal also felt like a rare treat. While we ate, Brian explained that he runs about 20 miles per day, each morning getting a ride to where he ended the previous day. The camp leapfrogs his running once or twice a week. The downside of this method is all the driving. You will pass some places 12 times in a car in order to run past them just once. Brian told me he was inspired to visit Mongolia by the British television show Long Way Around, a documentary following the actor Ewan McGregor and 3 others as they ride motorcycles across Europe, Asia, and North America. Before I started my own journey, I watched the first episode, but no more. The amount of preparation they were doing was making me think I was severely underestimating what my own planning should be. They hired a logistics team to decide their route, and then invited a doctor to come along if anyone got hurt. By comparison, I overlooked bringing a map from Mongolia, and I've never even taken a first aid class. This show has been brought up to me several times across Eastern Europe and Russia. After telling non-English speakers that I'm from the United States, I see them try to think of anything that might be able to bridge our languages. Very typically, they'll say one of 4 things: New York, California, long way round with Ian McGregor, said just like that, always including with Ian McGregor, who is Scottish. And most common of all when someone learns that I'm American, they say Arnold Schwarzenegger, who is originally from Austria, but also, arguably, represents the American dream better than anyone else. After dinner, Brian's family retreated to their tents, while he and I stayed up to watch the stars come out and discuss the nature of adventure, a subject we are so immersed in that we could talk of nothing else. I think we were both glad to have someone who understood.